They told you that your mind is a product of repetition, that your thoughts, habits, and reactions are chains forged by years of conditioning. They told you change takes time, that you have to grind through years of struggle to become someone new. But what if that story was incomplete? What if inside your brain, there's already a hidden switch, a back door, waiting for you to discover it? Neuroscientists have uncovered something extraordinary, a precise mechanism that allows you to bypass the old mental walls and install new patterns with shocking speed. It isn't fantasy. It isn't mysticism. It's a code, buried in your own biology. And when you learn to use it, it rewrites everything. Your subconscious is not a prison. It's an operating system. And like any system, it can be updated. This backdoor doesn't require external tools, endless therapy, or blind motivation. It's about accessing what's already within you, the untapped command center of your mind. For years, people believed the subconscious was slow to change. But new research in neural reprogramming has destroyed that belief completely. The human brain isn't static. It's fluid, adaptable, constantly evolving. And you can use that adaptability to reprogram yourself. Let's start with the truth most people never learn. Your mind already has a reset button. It's not about adding something new. It's about removing what's blocking, what's always been there. Once you understand how this hidden mechanism works, your life begins to shift. Not in months, but in moments. This isn't another motivational cliché. It's neuroscience. The kind that's rewriting what we thought was possible for human potential. But before we get to the method, there's something critical you need to know. Your subconscious has been quietly holding you back for years. And it's not your fault. Most people are walking through life on autopilot. 90% of their thoughts are recycled from yesterday. Their habits are echoes of the past. Their beliefs, outdated fragments of someone else's programming. That's the real trap. Not fear, not failure, but unconscious repetition. You see, your subconscious is designed to repeat. It's efficient. It saves energy. That's why you don't have to think about how to walk, talk, or drive. But that same efficiency becomes your cage. The mind keeps running the same outdated scripts, even when they no longer serve you. Neuroscientists call this the neural pathway lock-in effect. Every time you repeat a thought or a behavior, your brain strengthens that circuit. Over time, it becomes your default setting, even if it's destructive. Imagine trying to install new software on a device stuck on an old operating system. No matter how advanced the new program is, it won't work. Not until you reset the system. And that's what this secret hack does. It resets the system. But before you learn how to access it, you need to understand the 3 invisible barriers that have been sabotaging your growth. Barrier 1. The belief block. Your subconscious accepts only what it already believes to be true. If your conscious goals don't match your subconscious beliefs, guess which one wins? Every single time. Barrier 2. The emotional block. Every habit, every thought, every action is tied to emotion. Without addressing the emotional charge that powers a pattern, true change is nearly impossible. Barrier 3. The identity block. Your subconscious is wired to match who you believe yourself to be. If your identity is rooted in limitation, it will sabotage any attempt to grow beyond it. These aren't small obstacles. They are expensive. The cost of unconscious programming shows up everywhere. In your stress levels, your relationships, your opportunities, even in your health. And the worst part? You were trained to believe this is normal. That struggle is your natural state. That you're just built that way. But you're not. And you're not stuck with those limits. Because there is a way to bypass the blocks. to reach directly into the deeper levels of your mind, the place where true transformation begins. And the key to doing that came from one of the most unexpected sources imaginable: a Navy SEAL accident. What began as a high-stress military experiment turned into a discovery that changed everything we know about the mind. It was supposed to be a test of endurance. How far could the human body and brain go under extreme pressure? But during one of those simulations, something extraordinary happened. A trainee's body was at the breaking point, yet his brain entered a state of perfect clarity. Fear disappeared. Doubt vanished. Every signal of hesitation went silent. When scientists studied his brain activity, they saw something that made no sense at first. The neural pathways linked to fear and self-limitation had gone dark. Instead, an entirely new circuit had activated, a direct line to the subconscious. This was the moment they realized, under the right conditions, the human brain can bypass its own barriers. They had found the back door. Further experiments confirmed it wasn't a fluke. This sequence could be triggered deliberately, not just in soldiers, but in ordinary people. It allowed them to override limiting beliefs, rewire old patterns, and create new neural connections. Almost instantly. When activated, the scans showed 3 stunning changes. First, the areas tied to self-doubt and fear went completely silent. Second, new connections, associated with confidence, clarity, and creativity, lit up across the brain. Third, a state of hyperadaptability emerged, where transformation happened effortlessly. And the most revolutionary part? It's simple. You don't need years of therapy or endless affirmations. You only need to understand how to activate your brain's natural update mode. Originally, this discovery wasn't designed for motivation. It was meant to save lives, to help elite soldiers make decisions under impossible pressure. But its applications go far beyond the battlefield. Because if you can rewire a mind in a moment of chaos, you can rewire it in everyday life. Whether you're battling procrastination, fear, or that voice inside telling you you're not enough, this same sequence can free you. The formula is real. It's proven. It's available to you. And in the next part, you'll discover exactly how to trigger it, down to the biological switch that makes it possible. But before you go further, remember this warning. This technique is powerful, but it must be applied with precision. Used carelessly, it can lead to mental overload or confusion. Used correctly, it can reshape your reality. You're about to learn how. For decades, experts believed the subconscious mind was fixed, a sealed vault of old habits and beliefs, formed in childhood and locked for life. But that theory collapsed when neuroscience uncovered the truth about neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize and rewire itself at any age. This discovery changed everything. It proved that transformation isn't only possible, it's biological. Your brain is not a static machine. It's alive. It listens. It adapts. And when you learn to speak its language, it obeys. At the center of this reprogramming ability lies a temporary state known as the neuroplasticity window, a short period where your mind becomes highly flexible, able to dissolve old patterns and build new ones with astonishing ease. But what triggers that window? That's the secret that took scientists years to decode. They discovered that your brain enters its most powerful state of transformation through a specific combination of 3 elements: focus, emotion, and timing. Let's break it down. Focus. Your brain is like a radar dish, constantly scanning for what matters most. When you direct your full attention toward one single thought, it sends a command signal straight into your subconscious. That's why scattered thinking kills change. It dilutes the signal. But laser focus? It pierces through the noise and rewrites the code. Emotion. Every neural connection in your brain is reinforced by emotion. Logic doesn't transform you. Feeling does. Whether it's joy, fear, love, or determination, emotion acts like glue. The stronger the feeling, the deeper the wiring. If you can learn to attach powerful emotion to a new belief, you don't just think it, you become it. Timing. This is the hidden key most people overlook. Your brain follows natural cycles, and there are moments when it becomes more receptive, like a door that briefly opens between the conscious and subconscious worlds. That moment is known as the theta state, the transition between wakefulness and sleep. When you're in that state, the analytical mind quiets down, and the subconscious takes the front seat. This is the golden window for reprogramming. When focus, emotion, and timing align, something extraordinary happens. Your subconscious shifts from default mode into update mode. It's as if you flip a hidden switch that says, "I'm ready to learn something new." This discovery also explains why so many traditional self-help methods fail. Repeating affirmations without emotion. Useless. The brain ignores them. Visualizing a goal without timing or focus. It never reaches the subconscious. Most people fail, not because they lack effort, but because they work against their brain's natural rhythm. Now that you know what unlocks the subconscious, let's go deeper into the exact process of activating this hidden update mode. This isn't about wishful thinking or vague manifestation. It's neuroscience in action. And here's the best part. It only takes minutes a day to begin. Stop everything, because what you're about to learn next is the step-by-step sequence that rewires decades of mental programming, faster than anything you've ever experienced. This process is not random. It's precise. It's structured. It's proven. So before you start, clear your distractions. Take a breath and focus. Step 1. Enter the theta state. This is the gateway. Your brain naturally enters the theta state in 2 key moments, right before sleep and immediately after waking up. To intentionally reach it, sit or lie down, close your eyes, and begin slow, rhythmic breathing. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6. With each breath, feel your body sinking into calmness. As your breathing slows, your brainwaves follow. You'll start to feel detached, like floating between waking and dreaming. That's your subconscious becoming accessible. That's the door opening. Step 2. Set one clear intention. Your subconscious doesn't understand complexity. It understands clarity. Choose one belief, one pattern, one behavior you want to change. Be specific. Don't say, "I want to be confident." Say, "I am calm, strong, and confident in every situation." That direct language sends a clean, unambiguous signal to your subconscious. You're not asking, you're commanding. Step 3. Engage strong emotion. This is where most people fail. They try to think their way into change. But the subconscious speaks only one language: emotion. So before you continue, recall a moment when you felt joy, strength, love, or pride. Feel it fully. Let it grow inside you until it fills your entire body. That emotion becomes the energy that carries your intention deep into your subconscious mind. Without it, the signal is weak. With it, the command is undeniable. Step 4. Visualize with precision. Now imagine yourself living the new pattern. Don't just see it, feel it. Hear the sounds. Smell the air. Touch the texture of the world around you. Make it as real as possible. If your intention is confidence, see yourself walking into that room, your posture upright, your tone grounded, your presence magnetic. Don't imagine someday becoming that person. See yourself as that person, now. When your senses and emotions unite in that image, your brain can no longer distinguish between imagination and reality. It begins wiring the experience as truth. Step 5. Repeat with consistency. Neuroscience has proven that repetition strengthens neural pathways. Every time you perform this sequence, you're carving new grooves in your mind, new highways for thought and behavior. Do it every day, ideally at the same time. This consistency compounds your results, embedding the new pattern until it replaces the old one automatically. It's like reprogramming a computer, line by line, until the new code runs on its own. But precision matters. Many people rush the process or skip steps. They lose focus. Their emotions fade. Their mind drifts. And when that happens, the subconscious stays asleep. Don't let that be you. This is your mind's most powerful mechanism. Treat it with the respect it deserves. Now, a warning. This technique is powerful, but it's not a toy. If you try to reprogram too many patterns at once, you'll overload your mind. Your subconscious will reject all of it. Focus on one transformation at a time. Give it your full attention, your full emotion, and your full repetition. Change doesn't have to be painful or slow, but it does have to be intentional. When done correctly, this process doesn't just change your thoughts, it rewires your very identity. At first, the shift feels subtle, a quiet sense of calm, a spark of clarity. But with repetition, it accelerates. You begin to notice opportunities appearing, fears dissolving, energy returning. Your external reality bends to match your new internal code. Because your subconscious doesn't wait for the future, it creates it. To truly grasp the power of this method, you need to understand what happens inside your brain when you trigger this subconscious update mode. This isn't theory or philosophy, it's biology. When scientists observed the brain under this protocol, using advanced imaging technology, what they saw was nothing short of revolutionary. Before the process begins, the brain looks chaotic. Neural circuits tied to fear, hesitation, and limiting beliefs are highly active, dominating the internal landscape. It's like a city gridlocked with traffic, energy moving in circles, going nowhere. But the moment you enter the theta state, everything changes. Those overactive circuits start to quiet down. It's as if the noise inside your mind begins to fade, replaced by an almost electric stillness. During the process, the brain shifts its energy toward the regions associated with focus, creativity, and adaptability. This is where the magic happens. Old neural pathways weaken, and new connections start to form. You can literally see transformation happening in real time. Moments later, the patterns tied to fear and self-doubt dim, while pathways linked to calm, clarity, and confidence light up like constellations. It's not imagination, it's physical restructuring. And here's what makes it truly remarkable. These new circuits don't just appear, they stabilize. Each repetition strengthens the connections, embedding them deeper into your subconscious until they become your new default state. This is what scientists call long-term potentiation, the biological process that makes a thought, a habit, or a belief permanent. You're not just thinking differently, you're becoming different. One experiment, conducted with a small group of participants, revealed something extraordinary. After practicing this protocol for only a few days, they showed measurable increases in focus, self-confidence, and emotional resilience. Some described it as if a fog had lifted, years of inner resistance melting away almost overnight. They started finishing projects they had postponed for years. They faced conversations they once avoided. They made decisions with clarity instead of hesitation. Others reported unexpected side effects, deeper sleep, enhanced creativity, and an unshakable sense of inner calm. These were not isolated cases. Every participant, regardless of age or background, experienced tangible improvement. The researchers realized that this process wasn't just changing behavior. It was optimizing the entire neural ecosystem. Like tuning a complex instrument, the brain began harmonizing itself. Why? Because when you reprogram your subconscious, you're not changing one part of your mind. You're upgrading the system as a whole. Every thought, emotion, and action you experience flows through that system. Once it's optimized, everything else begins to align. Your health, your relationships, your energy, your purpose. This is the real meaning of transformation. Not forced discipline, not fake motivation, but alignment. Pure, biological alignment between your conscious intention and your subconscious blueprint. The reason this method works so efficiently lies in its simplicity. It doesn't fight the subconscious. It partners with it. It speaks the language your mind was designed to understand. Rhythm, focus, repetition, emotion. Think of it as teaching your brain to dance again. Not with effort, but with natural rhythm. Every repetition becomes a step, every feeling a note, every visualization a movement. Over time, you stop trying and start flowing. That's when the magic happens. When the conscious and subconscious stop opposing each other and start moving in harmony, your external world adjusts automatically. The people you meet, the choices you make, the timing of events, everything begins to align with your new internal code. What used to feel like coincidence starts to feel like precision. This is the subtle but powerful law of alignment. When your subconscious and conscious beliefs match, reality has no choice but to follow. Let's take a closer look at why this happens. Your subconscious operates as a vast predictive engine. Every second, it processes millions of data points, far beyond what your conscious mind can handle. Its main purpose is to maintain coherence between your inner world and your external experience. That means, if your subconscious believes you are unworthy, it will unconsciously steer you toward people and situations that reflect that belief, even if your conscious mind disagrees. But once you change the subconscious code, your external environment begins to shift to match the new belief. It's not magic. It's neurological alignment at work. This is why transformation often feels like the universe responding to you. It's not the universe changing. It's you changing the filter through which you see it. Every reality is filtered through the architecture of your subconscious. Change the structure, and the scenery follows. Now let's return to the protocol and break down what's happening inside you, at each step, biologically speaking. When you enter the theta state, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for analysis and resistance, temporarily relaxes. This allows signals from your conscious mind to travel unfiltered into the subconscious layers. It's like slipping past the security guard at the gate of your mind. When you set a clear intention, you activate the reticular activating system, a neural network that filters information based on relevance. By stating a focused goal, you tell your brain, "This matters." From that moment forward, your subconscious starts scanning your environment for anything that aligns with that command. When you engage emotion, you trigger the limbic system, the emotional command center. Emotions flood your brain with neurotransmitters that act as chemical messengers, strengthening the neural connections tied to the experience. That's why emotionally charged memories stick, and why attaching emotion to a new belief makes it stick faster. When you visualize vividly, the occipital and parietal regions of your brain light up, as if you're living the experience in real time. Your subconscious doesn't distinguish between real and imagined events. It only records what feels real. So by combining sensory detail with emotion, you create a memory of the future. Finally, when you repeat consistently, the brain's neuroplasticity takes over. Repetition signals importance. What you repeat becomes what you retain. And over time, the old pathways, unused and unreinforced, begin to dissolve. This is how real transformation happens. Not through willpower, but through biology. You're not fighting your mind. You're reprogramming it from the inside out. At this point, you may be wondering, how long does it take? The answer may surprise you. For some, change begins immediately. A shift in perception, a sudden sense of clarity. For others, it builds gradually, strengthening with every session. But the one factor that determines speed is consistency. Neural pathways grow stronger with repetition. And when you perform this practice daily, you're not just changing habits, you're sculpting your brain's architecture. Each night before you sleep, and each morning as you wake, you have a golden opportunity. A built-in portal to your subconscious. Use it. Protect it. Because in those few moments, you hold the power to rewrite your entire reality. This is your subconscious update mode. And now, you know how to trigger it. You've learned how the process works. You understand the science behind it. Now it's time to make it real. To turn this knowledge into daily action. Because transformation doesn't happen through information. It happens through application. And the difference between those who evolve and those who stay the same is not intelligence. It's consistency. So here's your action blueprint. A simple, practical plan designed to help you integrate this subconscious reprogramming protocol into your everyday life. Follow it, and you'll begin to see shifts, not only in how you think, but in how you feel, how you act, and how the world responds to you. Step 1. Set a dedicated time. Timing is everything. Choose a moment each day when your mind is naturally calm and receptive, ideally right before sleep or immediately after waking up. These are the moments when your brain operates in the theta wave state, that golden window between conscious thought and subconscious absorption. Protect this time. Make it sacred. Turn off your phone, dim the lights, and eliminate distractions. This is your personal reset ritual. A few minutes that belong only to you. The more consistently you practice at the same time, the stronger the association becomes in your brain. Soon, your mind will begin preparing itself automatically, slipping into the right state even before you start. Step 2. Create a focused environment. Your environment shapes your psychology. Every sound, every color, every detail sends subtle signals to your brain. So design your space intentionally. Find a quiet place where you can sit or lie down comfortably. If possible, keep it dimly lit. Use a scent or sound, like soft ambient music, a candle, or deep breathing, to signal your brain that it's time to go inward. Over time, these sensory cues become anchors. The moment you smell that scent or hear that sound, your brain will associate it with deep focus and relaxation. You'll slip into the subconscious state faster. This is how you condition your environment to support your transformation. Step 3. Prepare your intention. Before you begin, decide what you want to reprogram. Don't be vague. Be precise. Ask yourself, what belief, emotion, or pattern no longer serves me? Then, reframe it into a clear, affirmative statement. Instead of saying, I don't want to feel anxious, say, I am calm and centered in every situation. Instead of, I want success, say, success flows through me easily and naturally. Your words are commands, and your subconscious doesn't understand negation. It focuses only on what you declare. So speak as if it's already true. Write your intention down. See it. Feel it. Own it. This written statement becomes your daily code. A line of mental programming you'll run every time you practice. Step 4. Follow the protocol. Now it's time to engage the process. Relax and breathe. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply through your nose. Hold for a few seconds, and exhale slowly through your mouth. With each breath, let go of tension. Feel your body melting into the surface beneath you. As your body relaxes, your brain waves begin to slow, shifting naturally toward the theta range. You'll feel calm, yet alert, perfectly balanced between waking and dreaming. Engage emotion. Bring to mind a moment that fills you with joy, pride, or love. Feel that emotion expanding within you. Warm, powerful, alive. This emotional energy is the carrier signal that imprints your intention onto your subconscious. Visualize vividly. Now picture yourself already living your new reality. Don't just see it, experience it. Imagine the sounds, the textures, the atmosphere. Feel the emotions of success, peace, or confidence flooding your body. The more vivid your visualization, the deeper the imprint. Your subconscious doesn't analyze, it records. Give it something worth recording. Repeat the intention. In a calm, steady voice, aloud or in your mind. Repeat your statement several times. Each repetition drives it deeper, carving new grooves into your neural pathways. Do it slowly, with presence and conviction. Anchor the emotion. As you repeat your intention, focus on the emotion it creates. Feel it radiate through your chest, spreading warmth and energy through your entire being. That emotional vibration is the bridge between the conscious command and subconscious acceptance. Stay in that state for a few minutes. Then, when you're ready, open your eyes gently and carry that feeling with you. You've just completed a full subconscious reprogramming cycle. Step 5. Track your progress. Transformation often begins quietly. To stay consistent, keep a simple journal. Write down what you notice: changes in mood, behavior, focus, or even synchronicities throughout your day. Your subconscious will start sending signals that the shift is working. Unexpected opportunities, clearer thinking, emotional balance. Document it all. These notes become your proof, your evidence that the process is real. And as you see progress accumulate, your belief grows stronger, reinforcing the very neural patterns you're building. Step 6. Reinforce the signal. For faster results, integrate your intention into your everyday environment. You can use reminders, sticky notes, phone alerts, even a password that reflects your goal. Every time you encounter it, pause for 2 seconds and repeat your intention mentally. This technique leverages a principle known as spaced repetition. Brief, consistent reminders that keep the subconscious engaged throughout the day. Over time, your new belief will start running automatically, without conscious effort. That's when you'll know it's installed. Step 7. Avoid common pitfalls. Change can be exciting, but enthusiasm without discipline leads to chaos. So remember these 3 principles. 1. Don't rush. Transformation takes rhythm, not force. 2. Stay consistent. Even if you don't feel results immediately, the process is working below the surface. 3. Focus on one pattern at a time. Trying to change everything at once divides your energy and weakens the signal. Give your subconscious one clear message and let it master that before moving to the next. When you follow this blueprint, you're not just changing habits, you're redesigning the architecture of your inner world. This is how lasting transformation happens. Not through sudden breakthroughs, but through deliberate daily rituals. Each practice is a vote for your future self. Each session is a line of new code written into your subconscious. And the more you practice, the less effort it takes. Until one day, you wake up and realize you've become the person you once imagined. The process has become effortless because it's no longer a practice. It's who you are. Now that you've learned the daily practice, it's time to understand the shift. What happens when your inner reprogramming begins to manifest in the physical world? At first, the changes might feel subtle. You might notice small adjustments. Your reactions are calmer. Your thoughts are clearer. The weight of self-doubt feels lighter. But soon, those subtle shifts compound, and you begin to witness the external reflection of your internal upgrade. Because your subconscious doesn't simply change your thoughts, it changes your frequency. And everything in your life, your relationships, your opportunities, your success, responds to that new frequency. You start attracting what matches your new state. People who used to drain your energy drift away. Situations that once triggered fear no longer have power over you. Doors that seemed permanently closed begin to open, not through luck, but through alignment. This is not mysticism. It's the natural consequence of coherence. When your subconscious and conscious mind are aligned, your external reality has no choice but to mirror that harmony. Your mind projects its patterns into the world around you. Change the pattern, and the world rearranges to reflect it. That's why most people never experience real transformation. They try to change the outer world, while their inner world remains the same. They switch jobs, relationships, locations, but carry the same subconscious blueprint wherever they go. And so, their reality repeats itself, just in new forms. Once you reprogram the source, the repetition stops. You break the cycle. Let's look deeper at how this happens on a neurological and energetic level. Your subconscious governs more than 90% of your daily behavior. Every decision, every reaction, every emotional response begins there, milliseconds before your conscious mind even catches up. When you reprogram it, you don't have to try to think positively. You automatically are positive because the neural patterns behind negativity no longer exist. The brain stops feeding the circuits of self-doubt and fear and starts feeding the circuits of confidence and clarity. That's why change begins to feel effortless. It's no longer a battle of willpower. It's your new default. As these neural pathways strengthen, they release new chemical signals into your body. Hormones and neurotransmitters adjust to match your new mental state. Cortisol, the stress hormone, begins to drop. Dopamine and serotonin, the chemicals of focus and joy, rise. Your physiology begins to align with your psychology. This is the true mind-body connection, not just an idea, but a measurable transformation happening cell by cell. Even your posture, breathing, and tone of voice begin to change, because the body always mirrors the mind. Then comes the energetic shift, the part science is only beginning to understand. The human brain generates an electromagnetic field that extends beyond the body. When your subconscious patterns change, the frequency of that field changes too. It's subtle, but powerful, and it influences everything around you. People can sense it. Opportunities seem to notice it. It's as if the world starts responding differently, because in a very real way, it is. This is why reprogramming your subconscious feels like rewriting reality, because you're literally changing the energy that interacts with it. As you continue this process, something even more profound begins to happen. Your old identity starts to dissolve. The version of you that was driven by fear, doubt, and limitation begins to fade away. And with that, the subconscious walls that once protected you, but also confined you, begin to fall. You start to see that the person you thought you were was never fixed. It was just a pattern, a collection of memories, beliefs, and responses recorded by your subconscious. And patterns can be rewritten. This realization is both liberating and terrifying. Liberating because it means you are infinitely adaptable. Terrifying because it removes every excuse. You can no longer say, That's just who I am. Because now you know, who you are is programmable. The subconscious doesn't care who you've been. It cares who you decide to become. As your mind evolves, the world begins to reflect your evolution. You'll notice coincidences that feel too perfect to ignore. What once felt random begins to appear orchestrated. You'll meet people who share your new vibration. Opportunities will surface in places you never thought to look. You'll begin to sense that reality isn't something happening to you. It's something happening through you. This is the point where effort transforms into flow, when life stops feeling like resistance and starts feeling like rhythm. And that rhythm, that effortless harmony between thought, emotion, and action, is what the ancient mystics called alignment. Modern neuroscience calls it coherence. Either way, it's the same phenomenon. Your internal and external realities vibrating as one. When you reach this level, manifestation is no longer about forcing outcomes. It's about maintaining frequency. The world bends to match your inner state. That's the true power of subconscious reprogramming. But there's something even deeper, waiting beyond this transformation. Once you begin living from this new state, you realize that reprogramming the mind is only the beginning, because the mind itself is just the tool, the gateway to something greater. Beyond your subconscious lies consciousness itself, the awareness that watches, that chooses, that creates. And once you learn to master your subconscious, that higher consciousness begins to awaken. You stop being a product of your programming and start becoming the programmer of your own destiny. This is where human potential truly begins. Not in control, but in creation. Not in struggle, but in alignment. Not in trying to be someone new, but in remembering who you've always been. Once you reach this point, the question changes. It's no longer, how do I reprogram my mind? It becomes, what will I create now that I am free? Because reprogramming is not the end of the journey. It's the beginning of mastery. You've learned to rewrite the code. Now you get to design the architecture of your future. When you stop being controlled by your subconscious, something extraordinary happens. You step into full authorship of your life. You're no longer reacting to the world. You're directing it. Every thought becomes a brushstroke. Every emotion, a color. Every action, a line in the masterpiece that is your reality. And this is the truth very few ever realize. Your mind isn't something you have to conquer. It's something you are meant to collaborate with. Once the subconscious and the conscious mind move in harmony, creation becomes effortless. You begin to sense the intelligence behind life itself, the silent force that flows through every breath, every heartbeat, every idea. You are not separate from it. You are it, expressing itself through human form. At this stage, your inner dialogue changes completely. You stop saying, I hope things get better, and start declaring, I am making things better. You stop asking for permission from the world, because you realize the power has always been within you. You stop seeking motivation, because your purpose itself becomes the fuel. And that's when you realize something truly profound. The subconscious was never your enemy. It was your most loyal ally. It simply followed the code it was given. And now that code belongs to you. But mastery requires maintenance. Even though your brain has learned to adapt, its old patterns don't disappear overnight. They fade with neglect, not force. That's why daily practice isn't just a technique. It's a lifestyle. Each morning when you wake, take a few quiet moments before your thoughts rush in. Breathe deeply. Reconnect with your intention. Visualize the version of yourself you're choosing to embody today. And each night, before you fall asleep, Review your day with compassion. Notice where your old patterns tried to return, not to judge them, but to reprogram them. Every day becomes another opportunity to refine the signal. Over time, this practice becomes as natural as breathing. You won't need reminders or rituals, because your mind will live in this state permanently. Clear, calm, and creative. And that's the ultimate secret. You are the programmer. You always have been. Every belief you hold is a line of code. Every emotion is an instruction. Every visualization is a command. The universe doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your frequency. And that frequency is set by your subconscious. Now that you've learned to master it, you can set the tone of your life with precision. Do you want peace? Tune your thoughts to peace. Do you want strength? Anchor your mind in confidence. Do you want abundance? Align your emotions with gratitude. Whatever you consistently program, you inevitably become. So tonight, when the world is quiet and you close your eyes, remember this. You're not just drifting into sleep. You're entering the sacred doorway to creation. The theta state isn't simply a brainwave pattern. It's the space between worlds, the bridge between the known and the possible. And there, in that soft silence, your subconscious is listening. Speak clearly. Speak powerfully. Speak as the creator you now know yourself to be. Because the voice you use in that moment becomes the architect of your reality. From this day forward, every breath, every thought, every emotion becomes a choice. You are no longer the passenger of your mind. You are the captain. You are no longer the result of your past. You are the author of your future. And the greatest transformation of all is not becoming someone new. It's remembering who you truly are. The awareness behind the thought, the light behind the mind, the consciousness that commands creation itself. That's the real secret hack to reprogram your subconscious. Not by forcing it, not by fighting it, but by aligning it perfectly, powerfully, intentionally, with the infinite intelligence that flows through you. The moment you realize that truth, your life stops being a struggle for survival and becomes an expression of creation. And that's when the real journey begins. Take a breath. Feel that silence. That's not emptiness. That's power. That's your subconscious, waiting for your next command. So what will you program next?